Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Nothing Geeky. Today, we are doing The Nightmare of Ashihama. It released yesterday, and I have about 80 KC on it, and I'd say I'm pretty good at it. I'm not the best by any means, but, I'm pretty comfortable with it. It's not a particularly hard boss, so, I'm enjoying it a lot. Haven't gotten a drop yet, but, we're out here grinding, we're trying. Today, we're going to be talking about how to tank Ashihama or the Nightmare. It's cool that you can choose to be the tank even in big groups like this. It seems just with your gear choice, it chooses you over everybody else, and most people are going for damage output. Um, I am choosing to go defensive output, and I think it actually takes that into account because I'm getting pretty good drops, as opposed to two or three bass a lot of people are getting. I'm getting mage logs and Sarah brews and everything, so I'm liking it a lot. This guide is not going to talk about the requirements to get here, which is obviously just only priest and peril, but I'm not going to be talking about a lot of things. I'm going to kind of go into this assuming a lot of the mechanics and a lot of what to do: killing ads, don't stand in fire, etc. We're going to be mostly talking about how the tanking method is a little bit different from the DPS method. First thing I want to talk about is how to choose that you are the tank, or how the game assigns you as the tank. It assigns you as the tank depending on your defensive stats. So wearing full bandos, a serpentine helm, a ring of suffering, guardian boots, a hosta, and a defender. That's going to give you pretty maximum defensive bonuses. Of course, instead of the defender, you could be wearing a shield, but I still like to do some damage, and it really doesn't hit that hard if you know what you're praying. So I would say a defender is fine enough for this. People always bring in scythes for this, and it's very good, but it's not very good tanky. So if you were to bring a scythe, I don't think you would be assigned the role as tank. Plus, a hosta is still fine in my opinion. I'm still getting quite a many kills and drops and everything, so I think the hosta is okay, especially if you're going into this as a tank of your team. You're definitely going to want a hosta and either a shield. I mean, DFS would probably work good here. I haven't tried that yet, but the defender has been working out for me. Like I said before, you're going to want a tank for a team to designate, just because it's going to maximize your guys' efficiency with the trips. If you can angle the boss outwards, you are going to be the only one that's going to be hit by the melee attack, which is going to be nice, so your DPS can focus on praying mage or praying range. They don't have to focus as hard just on avoiding attacks. Of course, no damage could be completely negated for them, but if they have a basic understanding of what they're doing, they're not going to get hit that much. You can move the boss around. I do it in some of these clips here. If you stand in a corner, the boss will come to you. You don't have to attack it first. The boss will just come to you. So you can either just stand in a corner and wait for him to walk all the way over. It takes usually about 3 or 4 attacks. Or you can wait for him to attack, run in, get a hit in, run back to the corner, just kind of bouncing back and forth. Whatever you want to do. It's kind of up to you. I was kind of doing both. If you want to be lazy, you can just stand in the corner and wait for the boss to get to you, because you're not really prioritizing damage anyway, right? You're just the tank, so you are worried about getting in the corner there. During the pillar phase, you can either tank the boss or you can attack the pillars. Tanking the boss, focusing it, is going to make it focus you, but if you do not focus the boss, it seems like it just hops player to player by random. It's not necessarily going to stick on one person. Another quick note is that there is the minions. You want to prioritize getting those minions, and if of a team and you're not in a mass, maybe your team can save you 1 designated place or 2 designated places for the blood barrage, because that's going to get you up a lot of health. Obviously, it's blood barrage, so you don't need a lot of magic bonus. I don't think you can even splash. I do have a mage switch, and I haven't tested it without a mage switch, so I just keep a very minimal mage switch on me to make sure I get the blood barrage hits. Alright, so here we're going to talk a little bit about what the noises sound like for each phase. Alright, so we stand in the corner here. That is the mage hit. He'll spin and start throwing flower petals at everybody. It'll sound like some sort of a wind up. Just like that. That is the mage hit. So we want to prioritize having melee, because I think melee hits a lot faster than the other two attacks. So we just sit on melee until we see it's a different attack. The range attack is more of a click-clack. Click-clack. You hear that? It does it 4 times. And then it'll shoot arrows or some sort of range attack to everybody. The visual cue is huge. I mean, you can definitely do it without sound. It is a lot easier to just kind of... not AFK, but just not pay as much attention with the noises on. You just kind of switch between the two of them. If you don't hear either one of those two noises, it's either going in for a melee or it's going in for a special. So you just want to keep protect from melee up while you're tanking the boss. During these pillar phases, again, it's not necessarily important to be focusing it unless your team wants you to be, in which case you can focus it and it'll just stay on you the whole time and just keep it the same routine. Pray melee until you see it's attacking with a certain style, then switch to that style. Another range. Another range. Melee. Now, that was my fault. I did manage to get that in time. Otherwise it would have hit me for about a 30 or something. But you do just want to camp melee until you see it start attacking another, with another phase. And that about wraps up the tanking guide. There's not too much to say about the boss. It's pretty straightforward, not too hard once you get the praise switches and doing the barraging on the minions. Something we didn't really talk about too much is the ads in all the phases. In a mass, it's not that big of a deal. You're kind of just going along with it. I think holding aggro is probably the biggest part for these big masses. Everyone else handle the smaller ads like the parasites and the tusks, I think they are. But maybe in a smaller team, 5 to 15, 5 to 10, you'll be wanting to do those more as long as you can hold aggro. But again, this boss is not that hard. You guys can just adjust accordingly depending on your group size, team size, and your gear setup. The only thing I would change with my gear setup is bringing in SGS for special attacks on the pillars. I think that's best in slot. For a special attack, as you see, I don't even have any sort of special attack weapon. A Dragon Warhammer is great, of course. But I think for tanking, we're going to go with an SGS. I just can't afford one, so I don't have one for the video. Nonetheless, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, tell me how bad I am, tell me how good, just let me know in the comments down below. I might make more videos. I did enjoy this one. I really enjoyed this boss, but I play this game a lot through the game. I'm working towards maxing this year, so we'll see how that goes. Doing the Inferno, get rid of the cheesecake. We'll see what we can do this year. I'll finish out this kill here, but I'm gonna head off. Thank you guys for watching.